What's up, everybody? Alex here. Welcome back. A little bit different sort of setup here because we're going to be going through the 2024 Record Store Day list in this video. A couple different things before I pull it up here that I think are worth mentioning. I began doing Record Store Day back in 2020. Of course, it was very different. That's when they were doing the drops to limit how many titles and people and all those different things. And I learned a lot just each year about the FOMO and what to get and what not to get and all those different things. And one thing I want to say for the people out there is that everybody has their own different way of doing these things. I really don't think there's a right or wrong way to do Record Store Day. It's whatever makes you happy. What I will say, we're going to go through the list, do some reactions, give some thoughts. But something I think is really important that we miss out on is that historically, the point of Record Store Day in the beginning was to support your local independent record stores. It has since become an event where the excitement and all the things has to do with going out and buying these titles. And I think there's a lot of sort of like the mom and pop or used record stores that don't even participate in Record Store Day and are not seeing any business. And so just a reminder, no matter where you're at, like, whether you're getting something that's on this title or not, spend the day going out and supporting those local independent record stores, and especially maybe some of those used stores that don't participate in the formal day and all of that. The other thing I'll add too, and I say this as just someone who's been doing it for a handful of years, but I see a lot of people with their reactions when these lists come out of like, oh man, there's nothing for me. Oh, the list sucks. Like all these different things. As vinyl and collecting and listening has become significantly more broad and more inclusive of everybody, the lists are also going to be more broad and inclusive. So, maybe 10, 15, however many years ago, all the classic rock, hard rock, people were looking for those, lost, those lost recordings or whatever was going on from all their favorite bands. And guess what? Now there's a lot more hip hop people involved. There's a lot more people that collect records that are into pop music or modern day country music or any of these different genres. So I say all of that just because you haven't identified 10 things that you would love does not mean that it's a bad list. They're going, I think, a lot more on breadth than they are in depth. And I think what's cool is that every year the list comes out, there is typically something for everybody, even if that's maybe just 2, 3, 4 things. And so at least that's my opinion on it, but it is what it is. So I'm going to go through kind of quickly. I don't want this to be too long of a video. Just some reactions from me, some things that I'll be interested in, and of course, some pretty casual, whatever talk, dialogue, monologue, as it will be as we go. So cheers. All right, let's do this fancy share thing because we are super cool. Share screen, special releases, boom. All right, so we should be looking at here this first page of all this stuff. Now, if you're new to Record Store Day, sometimes this can be a little bit overwhelming and confusing. Obviously, you sort of have your title, your artist, your label. I've been paying a lot more attention to the label over the last couple years than previous. Obviously, your format, whether it's going to be an LP, a picture disc, a CD, a tape, whatever it is. Release type, this is kind of important. There are, I guess, a couple of different ones to think about here. If it says RSD exclusive, that means it is coming out for this Record Store Day and theoretically will never be seen again. If it's an RSD first, that means they're going to release it, see how it goes, but it's probably going to come out later. It just might be in like not a cool color variant or something like that. The RSD limited run regional focus ones, those are kind of hit or miss. Sometimes your local shop might get 1 or 2 of them, but other times they won't. And of course, that is all sort of riding on this quantity number here, which at least in my experience, I feel has been maybe inaccurate at times. But, obviously the quantity is important to sort of look at as we're sort of rolling through here to, gauge how rare they're going to be, if they're going to be around for much longer after Record Store Day. Is this something you're going to have to line up for or that you can wait for? Etc. So again, I'll go through here and kind of, highlight some things that I'm interested in, or maybe that other people will probably be interested in. My genre and taste are pretty broad. So I will say there's a lot here that I'm interested in, and that is not good for my wallet. But yeah, let's jump in here just with some different highlights. This was interesting. I don't know if I'll get this, but this is that Alex Chilton Cliches. That's one of those regional focus ones. I don't think that was ever actually released on vinyl. I know the CD came out in the early 90s, but I don't think it was ever released. But for all you Big Star fans, I've never heard the record, but that might be kind of cool if you are around somewhere. Again, a ton of great jazz stuff. Now, the Resonance label is amazing, but to me, the problem from my perspective, and this is just me because I ain't got that much money, is a lot of times the huge jazz releases are just too expensive for me, especially these 3 LP sets through Resonance. They're amazingly well done, but a lot of times they're 60, 70, 80, sometimes $100 or more. So a lot of times those Resonance ones I stay away from just because it's hard to justify it. But they do some amazing stuff. Let's see here. Going through just some different things that might stand out. This is what I was looking at here, this Band X. So this is from Riding Easy Records, Permanent Records. Riding Easy Records is, I guess, they've become like an independent label that has specialized in sort of archival type hard rock, funk, soul, jazz release type stuff. And so you pull up here, Band X, the best of Brand X, the best of Band X. Brand X is also good. We love them. But this looks like it's some cool, like funk, soul, jazz stuff that was never, that was only released on a private press. And the Riding Easy label does some super cool stuff. They partnered with Dylan down at Noble Records on some stuff. Amazing. So that might be something I'm interested in. It's limited, but it's a first. So what that tells me is that this is going to come on a cool piece of wax, but then might not be available. It'll probably be on black later. I love seeing Bebop Deluxe up there, but Futurama, solid record, but that's like a $5 to $6 record in most used stores. Of course, we always get the Bill Evans release, but I think this is a great one because this is from Kraft, and when Kraft does these mono pressings, they're typically limited in that 4,500 to 5,000 range, but they get the full Kevin Gray audiophile treatment, right? So master tapes by Kevin Gray at Coherent, pressed to RTI. It just stout and tip on jacket, and the best thing here is this is going to retail, I'm guessing, between $28 and $32. An absolute steal. A trio here with Bill Evans, and of course you have Philly Joe Jones and Sam Jones playing. But his second on Riverside, an amazing record. That is going to be a must-have for me as a huge Bill Evans guy. And again, a great jazz title that is not going to cost that much. Some Blur stuff, that's cool. Body Snatcher, Brother Jack McDuff, that'll probably be really good. Reel to Reel, I know that they partner with, I think they have Bernie Grundman doing their stuff. It'll be good, but Reel to Reel, that might be a little bit more expensive. Same thing, Elemental's another one. This is going to be great stuff. This Cannonball Adderley jazz stuff, I just fear it's going to be in the 45 plus, the $50+ range. Tough. Captain Beefheart, Spotlight Kid, they've been doing these Captain Beefheart releases a lot, and they've been great. I think I picked up maybe Clear Spot, and it was great. I think it was a Grundman cut, maybe Kevin Gray, but they did it all from the original tapes. The second LP is always like some additional stuff, outtakes, demos, whatever. I probably won't get this because I'm not the biggest Beefheart fan, but I know the Beefheart fans have loved this. It's an exclusive, and it's a cool release, so I'm sure people will be all after that. Always a good Mingus release on Candid. Candid does some great stuff. I think they do. I think Kevin Gray is who is mastering their stuff. Chet Baker's always really popular. Again, we're all in jazz world. That's Jazz Detective, which is sort of an offshoot of Elemental, I think. We'll see about that. That looks like it could be really good, but all depends on price. Gosh, a lot of jazz in that first one. All right, let's jump to number 2 here. Chris Isaak. I don't have any Chris Isaak, but I feel like that could be really good. The complete collection from Beyond the Sun. I don't know much about Chris Isaak. I just know that people love him, and I could see myself getting into him, but I'm curious what the Chris Isaak fans think out there. A lot of Collective Soul stuff has been out there. I've never been a huge fan of Collective Soul, but I know people love them. This Bowie should be interesting here. Waiting for the Sky Before the Starman Came to Earth. What this sounds like is sort of like the original workings of what Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spires from Mars was supposed to be. It's a different track list and apparently has like 4 additional songs. Kind of dig that cover. I don't know. Bowie's always really popular, but it's tough on these releases because are you essentially just getting a different version of Ziggy Stardust? And do you need that? Well, that is up to you to decide. I don't know about that, but it is an RSD exclusive, limited to 8,000 copies. Death Cab Live for all you Death Cab for Cutie fans out there, 2,500 exclusive. That could be kind of cool. This I'll probably end up getting. You all know me. I'm a big Def Leppard fan. And actually, I think their live stuff that they've done for Record Story has been really cool. They did one a couple years ago of like super early in their career, which was awesome. I remember them doing this show at the Lead Mill, which was like this really tiny club in Sheffield, I think, where they're from. What I appreciate about this is it's kind of a cool set list, right? You got some new stuff, and you got a bunch of stuff that they don't really play too much anymore. So it doesn't look like there's any Photograph on here. There's no, Armageddon on here. There's no Rock of Ages on here. They're playing things like Slang, which they probably should never play, and of course Close It With Wasted, which is an old classic. So I'm a big Def Leppard fan. It's probably going to cost $40, but you know what? Whatever. I'll do it. Let's see. Some Dio picture discs. Those are always fun. Of course, this is weird. I think this is just a weird typo. They're going to call it a picture disc here, but it's going to be an LP here and a picture disc here, but not, you know what I mean? It's weird. I'm a Dixie Dregs fan. This looks kind of cool. The Great Spectator. That looked like something that was going to be like their earliest demos before their debut. I don't know if I'll get it, but I think it's cool that they're doing it. I'm a Dregs fan. Dr. John. Dwight Yoakam, who has some roots here in Columbus, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, that could be awesome, man. But that's a whole box there. That's going to cost a little bit of money there, whether you're getting the LP or CDs. But I respect it. Always seems to be an Elton John thing going on with sort of these reissues of 50th anniversary stuff. This one, of course, is of Caribou. Pictures at an exhibition for all you ELP picture discs fans. That's what it should be. Picture discs at an exhibition is sort of what Record Store Day has become. Some good like soundtrack looking stuff. Enslaved for all you black metal fans out there. Always Kiss stuff. Eric Carr has seemed to be owning Kiss over the last several years, or owning Record Store Day, even with his limited time in Kiss. But yeah, people go after those. The Kiss fans, there's nothing like them. All right. Keep rolling. Let's see. Page 3. Cool. More Faces stuff. I know that was a pretty popular item last year, I guess, or back in Black Friday, was that some BBC session stuff. So it looks like this is like part 2 of that. But, 2 LPs. That could be really cool for those classic Faces fans. Gosh, I have not heard of Fetty Wap in 1738? Is that all that is? That's awesome. I love it. Get your Rumors picture disc for all you people out there. We all want that Rumors picture discs. A triple live album from Fleet Foxes could be kind of cool, but I don't know. I've heard they're kind of boring live, but I do like them. It's cool. Cool. Zappa from President. I could get into that. I'm a big Zappa guy. I think that's just a comp of all this political stuff. Is that kind of what they've said? Yep. Yeah, I'm a Zappa guy. I think these kind of compilations they're cute. They're not going to be worth a whole bunch, but I think they're cute. Whatever. I'm into it. This is going to be a must-have, I think, for me. And that's Gandalf. Jackpot has been killing it. Jackpot Records has been doing some amazing stuff. Gandalf is like a late 60s sort of psychedelic pop record that's worth about $500. And I don't think has gotten the proper reissue treatment. And I believe that this is Kevin Gray doing all this type of stuff. At least it's from the original masters. I could be wrong on that. If it's Kevin Gray or not, I apologize. But I know he's been doing a ton of the Jackpot stuff. But that to me is awesome. Some cool Gene Clark stuff. Those could be really cool for the people who love No Other. That's some awesome stuff. Of course, the George Harrison stuff was going to sell for the Beatles. These Grateful Dead boxes always sell. I'm curious though. I know this is coming from 1989, I think. So curious if this is, for the Deadheads out there, the people who love the Dead in these boxes, is that too late for y'all, or are we good with that and you're going to keep on doing it? So let me know. Keep on going. Ian Hunter Defiance Part 2, the deluxe edition. I know there's a lot of people out there who love Ian Hunter and love Defiance. He's in his 80s now and still just killing it. So, Steve over at Elder Worlds of Stage, I'm sure he'll be interested in that. If you're going to do a Grateful Dead box, you're obviously going to also do a Jerry Garcia box. Those always happen. I'm curious. Songs to Know One from Jeff Buckley and Gary Lucas. Not familiar with this, but obviously just the story of, Jeff Buckley, especially. Curious what that looks like. That might be popular. Pretty limited, but it's an RSD first, so there will be more later. We will keep it rolling here. Page 4, we're in the Jays. Some Jim Croce stuff. Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros. I know people love him. The Mind Games EP, John Lennon, that will sell, I'm sure. Let's keep going here, see what else is going on. We're in the L's. Lil Wayne, again, like the hip hop stuff sells like mad, which is awesome. But those are always really popular. Lovejoy, Mavis Staples, Mark Knopfler, whole bunch of stuff. Not a whole lot on that page that I'm super interested in, but yeah, we'll keep it rolling. Number 5 here. We get the Monkees. Of course, we get the Motley Crue for the picture discs. Love that. Kind of cool. The Big Finish, lean into it live for Mr. Big. I know that's the tour they're on right now, sort of their farewell, which is ton. Of course, the great Nick DiVargilio has been on drums with them, which is awesome. Some Nat King Cole. This new one from Neil Young, Crazy Horse, Bucking Up. Cool. Love that. I'm sure Neil fans are going to love that, but this sounds like it's just reworkings of stuff from Ragged Glory. So new album. Yeah, not original. Well, not newly original stuff, but cool. This will be hot, I'm sure. Noah Khan. This will be really hot. He blew up with Stick Season, and he's one of the biggest artists ever right now. He just did like an EP or something last year, and people were lining up for it, and it was sold out right away. So I have a feeling this is going to be a hot item. 15,000, that's nothing, though. That's going to be hot. For the Oasis fans, your Gallagher are doing some High Flying Bird stuff, which is great. If you want some Ready to Die instrumentals from Notorious B.I.G., you got it. Orchestral Removers in the Dark. I think this is some pretty weird stuff, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know enough about this. I have just heard that it's pretty out there. So, who knows? Maybe I'll give that. I love some out there stuff. So, could be cool. This could be awesome. This is an RSD exclusive. The debut from Parliament. Deluxe, double LP. It's got some other stuff, and it's an RSD exclusive and pretty limited-ish. 3,000 is not a lot. First pressings of this go for multiple hundreds of dollars. So, for those into the P-Funk, which I am, this could be an absolute banger. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's going to be great. This Pearl Jam will sell. They just announced it. Even 15,000 of them. This is their brand new album. That's a sick color, by the way. 1,000%. That's pretty nasty. I'm into that. So I probably won't get it. I'm just not a huge current Pearl Jam fan, but I know people will get it, and that's awesome for them. If you've ever wanted a 7-inch single of a Pharoah Sanders hit, you could do that this year. Interestingly enough, or a 7-inch single from a song from Hot Space that is not under pressure. More power to you. We got some Ramones demos in there. Awesome. Love that. We'll keep it moving. Righty then. Where are we? We got Ringo. His stuff sells. All the EPs and stuff like that. People do love that. So I'm sure people are going to be into that. This Roger McGuinn, Chris Hill, and Marty Stewart. I know my boy Sam St. John has talked a lot about it. It's that 30th anniversary of Sweetheart of the Rodeo, where these 3 cats and their backing band went out there and did it. But kind of concerned, and I get why. I mean, this just looks like look at the quality here on this cover. It kind of just looks like a bad boot to me. So I understand his concerns with it, but who knows? He might still get it. And it's going to be awesome. Let's see. Sabrina Carpenter, great. Seven Dust, Susie and the Banshees. Snarky Puppy. I'm a big Snarky Puppy fan, but not that big of a Snarky Puppy fan. Get that Soft Cell. Some Sonny Rollins. Again, on Resonance. This is going to be like $120, I'm sure. Soul Jazz stuff is awesome. I'm into that type of stuff, but it's just a lot going on there. Get your Sparks and stuff. Interesting. This could be cool. This is the other big one from Jackpot. This is like some early psych out of Detroit, I think, 1968. This is Kevin Gray, All Analog. This could be pretty hot as well. But this is an RSD exclusive, only 1,500 of these. Now, originals of this aren't going to be that expensive, though. You can get them for like 20, 30 bucks. Unlike that other one, was it Gandalf that Jackpot's doing? But yeah, more power to him. That's SRC. Harmonic Divergence, Steven Wilson. Okay, so this sounds like they're just different mixes of the Harmony Codex, which fine. I like the album. I didn't love the album. Do I need to spend 30, 40, however many dollars they're going to charge me for just different mixes of the same songs? I don't know, probably, because that's why. Super Furry Animals, some Fuzzy Logic B-sides and besides. Love that. Get you some T-Rex picture discs. Awesome. Reel to Reel Tesla. This could be pretty hot. Oh, an exclusive limited to 1,500. This was, I think, like their, or maybe 2000s ish covers album. You know, fair if they're into it. You got your Beatles sort of gimmicky things here. They'll probably sell. People love that type of stuff. But if you want your 3-inch records and you get your turntable with your 3-inch records, awesome. But these look very limited. Is this a correct number? 1,500? I mean, even for Beatles stuff, you could be selling, used pancakes and people are going to buy the Beatles stuff. So we'll see about that. All right. Keep it going. I guess we're in the T's here, but it's kind of tough because it's I don't know. It's like we're in like the Body Snatchers. To me, that's a B artist, but fire. Cranberries have always been doing some stuff there. The Doors always got to have their release, but this is interesting. They're calling it an LP box set. 6,000 is not a lot, but if it's a box set, what that tells me is that it's just going to be in a box and therefore more expensive. I was kind of bummed to miss out on their live one last year, but now they're doing these live things every single year. And a lot of them have just, to me, I am a Doors fan, but not that much of a Doors fan, because a lot of them to me just sort of sound like bootlegs. And I mean that like this, the quality sound wise isn't there for me to justify it. Let's see here. Ooh, the Offspring. Ooh, God, the Paper Kites. I haven't heard them forever. Evergreen. Does that have Bloom on it? Oh, it does. That's a banger. I love Bloom. I don't love Bloom enough to buy this damn thing, but this is actually, Paper Kites are a cool band. I'm curious if the indie folk people out there know and or like the Paper Kites. Man, Bloom is a good song. I'm all in on that song, but not enough to buy the record. Maybe, who knows? Cool. Residents doing some stuff. That's always fun. They're out there. Replacements got a live record that could be good. The Slits, I heard of them a couple of whiles ago. I don't know a ton about the Slits, but I did hear about them. Someone mentioned them, I think, on one of my videos or streams from a little while ago. Tragically Hip for all the Canadian fans that love them out there. Some demos and some live stuff coming from the Yardbirds. That could be kind of cool. Let's jump to Thin Lizzy, live at Hammersmith 76. Okay, so I think this is from like their Live and Dangerous stuff. Yeah. So they just did like the Live and Dangerous box set, and so I think this is one of the shows from that. I have Live and Dangerous, so I can't imagine picking this up, but I do love Thin Lizzy, and truthfully, you can't have enough Lizzy. Reissues of Todd, and then Liars. Liars, I think, came out maybe early 2000s. Maybe it's like a 20th anniversary for them. Oh, look at that. God, I'm good. It's just Todd. Okay. Tom Verlaine, R.I.P. We get some singles coming from U2. That's awesome. Ultravox doing their thing with Steven Wilson. Cool. Keep it moving. All right. Oh, we're getting into our various artist sections. Now, here's the thing about RSD that I've grown to love is some of these comps are just friggin' awesome to me, and I love them. So a lot of cool comps. That's what I see from the various artist stuff. I always get the Jazz Dispensary stuff. This is coming from Craft Recordings, but there's some bangers on here. Gary Bartz, Joe Henderson, just some absolute incredible stuff. I think that's going to be an amazing funk fusion, whatever they call it, Jazz Dispensary type stuff that are always done. I love them. The other one I was really looking at from these various artists were Where Is It? It's the Westbound one. Westbound Records curated by RSD, Volume 1. This could be cool. So Westbound, obviously, Funkadelic was the huge artist on there, but you got Ohio Players, Spanky Wilson, Donald Austin. This could be really cool. Again, if you're sort of into some of that soul, R&B, funk, fusion-y stuff, This could be really cool, depending on price. ORG, they do all right stuff. Depending on price and all that, I could be interested in that one as well. Vince Guaraldi doing some Charles Brown, Chucky B type stuff. Love that. Voivod for those thrash people. I'm sure we'll love that. Wilco's always popular, especially RC exclusive. Whole Love expanded. So what, you get a bunch of additional stuff. Yeah, that could be popular. Which is cool. Oh, this one I think I'm going to end up getting, although it is, well, $9.50. It's a first. I don't know how many other ones, but this is Death Penalty from Witchfinder General. You know, when you talk about the new wave of British heavy metal that happened in the early 80s, you know, everybody knows Iron Maiden. A lot of ish people know Saxon, but Witchfinder General is right there too. They're sort of like that next one that not a lot of people know about. And I don't think this ever got a US press and never got a repress at all. So, this could be cool for those new wave of British heavy metal fans. I'm looking forward to that for sure. Looks like Yes is doing a live album, just a single though, so that's interesting. Yusef Lateef is doing something. He's awesome, but again, that might be a $50 holler. All right, looks like we're on the last page now. Oh, interesting. Maybe not. Did we go? Oh, we're back to one. Okay, cool. Well, I guess that is sort of all. Yeah, well, hey, we're back. Oh, gosh, 26 minutes. Well, that was a lot, but it was fine. I was just talking through. Curious what you all think. Curious what you're all into. Again, a lot of good stuff, I think, that sort of, again, crosses a lot of those different musical tastes and genres that I think a lot of different people are going to be interested in. And yeah, curious from your perspective, you sort of saw them all. What are you interested in? What are you looking forward to? All that type of stuff. Let me know. It'd be awesome. And yeah, you all have a good rest of your day. We'll talk soon, and cheers. Thanks, y'all. Bye.